All right, this is another update of an update. This has been like the whole plan, okay, but I was waiting until it went up to 48 volt, and then I was starting to read this one, and this can do like half of my dream. It's not all the way there, but it's really close. Is what I'm trying to get at. Is it has a diversionary load that can handle 1200 watts. The element that I bought is like just under nine something. This has it's running, I think 45 watts is its idle, and then the LEDs that it's powering in here. It's already like recharged all the everything I got is like rechargeable, and it's already recharged. So it's just kind of like idling right now. But I was wanting to take all the excess power that I can get and put it into the heating of the floor. And so I got just an element, a 120 element. That's my T down there. That's about the only hokey thing I could think of, is now we got it turned on so we can see. Now what I'm going to do is see it's 74 watts. And some of these really freak out when you try to do this. Is why I'm saying I'm really in love with this. Okay, now watch I'm plugging it in over here. Let's make sure I don't electrocute myself. There we go. Now the amperage is going up. Wattage is going up. 900-ish watts, a little bit less than 900. Because it had some to begin with is what I'm trying to get at. But it's running it perfectly is what I'm trying to get at. And it'll be able to do it on the second line. There's another line that it can do for anything automatic is what I'm trying to get at. Now, let's see what it's doing down here. And she is just cooking it. So I don't want to like hurt the element, so I'm going to stop. But, okay. I don't know if I can get this out as well as I got it in. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, tickled, y'all. I looked back on Amazon. These are no longer available. So whoever this manufacturer was sold out the overage of whoever this Victor was, or this Sun Sil Chi other company. I can't pronounce. I should look it up, but I didn't. I looked it up online to get some of the information. But looks to be a good inverter, and it'll be able to run two of those simultaneously. One shutting on and off automatically as the voltage goes up or down from 27 to even 26 volt. So it'll cut that like a load, almost like a wind load, but it's built in. I thought it was a cool feature, is what I'm trying to get at. They offer another one, looks just like it, but from another manufacturer. So I'm thinking it probably, but it's in the $400 range instead of $305. So get that. But I would have bought a spare, is what I'm trying to get at. I'm kind of happy with it. If it comes back on, I would buy one, even probably upwards of $500 kind of value. With this guy right up here is $790 something. If you look on eBay or wherever, to buy them, they don't even come with a warranty or with a what do you call that? The book, the owner's manual kind of book, but it's self-explanatory, and that's what I was meaning. Though this one over here should have a display like this one. This one has words. It coaxes you through it. If you're something smarter than a monkey, you could probably do this one without the instruction manual. Is what I'm figure it out. It just take you a minute, but it's there. You wouldn't want to damage it, though. That's the whole thing. None of this stuff do you want to work, like hook up backwards, even though this one actually comes with that reverse polarity. I'm not sure if this one does or not. I think it did. This one did not right here. I know that one didn't. But, or this one I don't think does either. But I'd have to, don't hold me to either one of those. But I thought that one did, and this one did. I was looking at it all. Pretty slick. I got to give it that much. It's pretty slick, and cooks a good mean tea. I don't want to mess up that element, but let's see if that did anything for the tea. Oh yeah, it's warm. Ooh-ah. Yep, it's good. It's not like scalding hot, but it's a little bit. It got me shocked. It's a little. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a little hot. It's a little warmer than I was expecting, but it's not like scalding hot. I mean, just barely making like the wispies is what I'm trying to get at. But I didn't expect it to get that warm just in a couple seconds. That's all. It's a little warmer than I thought. That'll do actually pretty good. Is what I'm going to do is either make a vessel like a galvanized fitting tube or whatever, pump the water in to one side, pump it out in through the floor, and put a 1-inch the bung on the end of it. Make the vessel probably 2.5, somewhere in that. I mean, there's a limit to what you can do dollar wise. Them fittings get high. Copper, galvan, I don't know. I'll figure it out. Is what I'm trying to get at. I may even just weld one up. Got a new torch, the micro torch, really good control. So, but make a vessel that has the element going through it, pump the water through on like an elbow coming in and elbow going out kind of deal, or even straight, but pump it into the floor. And the idea was this. Now I know it can do it. That was the idea? Is what I'm trying to say. Now I can go like not redneck and just pick up a on-demand hot water tank that's less than 1,000 watt, or no, I think it's 1,500, 1,200 or something. It's actually kind of high, that second load line. But I can pick up a on-demand hot water tank, and even if the element is higher, they vary is what I'm trying to get at. Always test them. Even if it's a little higher, I can replace it with the element that I just had right here. They all. That's the one common thing about them is the 1-inch thread. Some of them fold, some of them different ohms. You've got to really check that, especially if you're going DC direct. I picked up 2 more elements, so when back behind the house, I'm going to put the solar down on one line, so I can stand them up better in the winter and they won't catch snow. And run them in a bigger string. This one here can handle 500 volt. And by next year, hopefully, I have 2 more of these batteries in a 48, but a new one. I'm going to go with that EG4, I think is the name of the company. They're out of Texas. I like American stuff. I'm not like 100, nationalist or whatever, but I figure if you're going to have like American people, you need to buy American so you feed your neighbor. I mean, the guy's working to work for you. If you're buying everything from somewhere else, well, yeah, you're helping that guy eat and that guy live, but you're not helping the guy next to you. And so I just see it that way, y'all. I'm sorry. But I'm not like, like weird about it. I try my best, to buy American if I can. But like I said, now I can pick up an on-demand hot water tank that I can just set in this. I didn't know this had that diversionary load. And this can run the diversionary load all by itself and then shut off automatically when it gets too low. And that's kind of what I was looking for anyways. Some of that other stuff that I bought was to do this in a redneck, hokey, hillbilly fashion. And now I don't got to, is what I'm saying. So, hooray for us. We've won again. And I like that. It made a pretty nice tea. Kind of quick. Without messing up the inverter or even making the lights blink or nothing. Or making it squeal or nothing. So that's pretty cool. Well, I got some work ahead of me, y'all. There we go. Let's get up where you can see it. That's got to get out of the way. I'm not going to take this out. I am going to clean up the batteries, though. They were pretty nasty. But it was dirt down here until this spring. And that's why they were pretty nasty. But there's no reason to leave your batteries like that. That's bad for lead acid. They'd be way better than they are, is what I'm saying, if they weren't like that. Get this mounted up on the wall, bring these lines in over there. That limits me to where I can move that, one way or the other is what I'm trying to get at. I'm going to put this on the wall and then extend it has the high voltage lines that are long now. I'm just going to take some of that out and then hook that to the battery to give them just a little bit of room so I can move this cart around as I'm still working in here. I thought about moving this outside, but it's getting winter real soon, and I don't want to freeze up the compressor being out there, is what I'm saying. It takes almost as much to start this freezer as it did for that immersion heating element to work. That's crazy what it takes to start that. And that's just on them. I mean, I'm not saying, but it runs really super, silly cheap, like watts. I mean, just a few watts is all it takes to run it. But the actual start of it, yeah, it's kind of high. Like even if it's going from, and I keep it on max, if you know, there you go down there, is I keep it on max. That way, if I ever lose power or like in the off-grid thing, I can always unplug that first. And, or whenever the inverters were giving me grief and not wanting, when this one wasn't wanting to start nothing, is I could just, either plug it into that one or just leave it unplugged. But I had one comment about the system, and it's just a backup now is what it is. Eventually, because lead acid can handle colder temperatures than the lithium, and this will be in the house or in the van if I take it and travel or something like that, because it don't weigh as much either. I mean, this is actually fairly reasonable. Anybody's house, this is like a jumbo jackery. Just forget that thing, you don't need it even. Just the batteries, the cart, and this inverter, and a way to plug it in, that like a little plaid, and away you go. If this thing can take generator power, you can hook it right up. It can do it all, and it can even take, like, this is a grid tie. It's a grid tie unit is what it is. That's why people were having grief with it. I didn't just read the instructions. It's even the little hokey instructions that it comes with. It's like off-brand, because it's not the people who are actually selling, it's the people who are manufacturing it. And so it's an off-brand manual. But still, if you have anything you can't get on that, go online. It's sold under Victor or something else. It's printed on the side over here, y'all. Oh, bother, I can't move it. Let's see if I can turn it around and y'all can see it. Yeah, no, because it's printed right here, right there on top. Now y'all can see it. Right above the barcode. Right there. Whatever that is, that's what it is. And I just can't remember that to save my life, y'all. 2 truck wrecks, the second one really bad. It really rattled me. And little dumb stuff like that, nah, I don't got no room in my brain for nothing like that. And haven't had for a long time. I used to remember everything. Had I read that thing on the side of the deal, I could have remembered that like I took a picture and I was looking back at a picture. It was that good. The second truck wreck, oh yeah, just ace that right out. No more, none of that. And I even get confused, and that's real. You feel, I hate to say it, but you feel retarded, because man, that is an ugly feeling when you get confused when you're thinking, oh, I hate that feeling. And I get that way now after that second truck wreck. That's just horrible. I can be more paralyzed, okay with being paralyzed and not having no legs and not even taking a step. But man, getting confused when I think, oh Lord, I don't like that feeling at all. That's like the deal breaker for me. But okay, let's get off that. But yeah, that's real. Would I suggest this for anybody? Sure would. And when I meant before about if you got access to any kind of internet, library, anything, it'd be an okay thing to get the other manuals off the PDF. That's where I got some help with that. And then I didn't really even use the information I got. I think I just stumbled onto the switch and I had it off because the pad stays lit. The second you put power to it, whether it's solar or battery, because this thing can run without batteries too. It's a really trick unit. But the second you put power to it, it's talking to you through that interface with it on or off. It does not care. It's power goes in, it talks to you. Is I just probably had it off, is what I'm trying to get at. And it let me program it. It let me change the frequency, everything through the in and out. I found it really easy to work with the machine, is what I'm trying to get at. No issues at all. And it, like I said, if there was another one available, I would buy it in a blink, and probably go up to like the one that's replacing this one is like $499. Would I spend $499 for one that could be like it from somebody else? Probably not, because I got this one. This is going to fill my needs until next year. But if I found another one just like this for the 305 that I paid for this, man, I'd grab that in a blink. I would. But that is what it is, But it was cheap enough, is what I'm trying to get at. These batteries I saved $400 because I ordered them separate, and it was a shipping deal that they had going, or whatever, a pumpkin deal, a Halloween deal. But they came perfect. The one came FedEx, one came UPS, both shipped fine. They both had damage or roughed up boxes or whatever, but not busted up or broken. But like squished corners and that kind of stuff. They were packed really well in that white closed cell foam insulation, not the beaded stuff, the really dense stuff that can take hits. I had it around. It's outside. It's getting destined to be burnt. There's nothing wrong with the batteries. There's no reason to save it, is what I'm saying, to send it back. They lasted through the snowstorm that we had 4 days without the solars giving any power back to them, and they did wonderful. I couldn't ask for a better little system. And when I make it bigger, like 48, 2 more of these and make it a 48 volt system. And the other one that I'm buying, the EG4 one is 6,000, it's like twice as big as this. But it's made to do exactly what I thought, that I didn't realize that this one did. This one has some really impressive features, is what I'm saying, y'all. And it's by Victor, is one name of it. It's by, it's XIJIA, Cija? I can't pronounce that right. Or it's by another company's name that's selling them, retailing them or whatever. And that one is Sun, SUNCISA or something like that. I would have to look to find that one. But that's the one where I found the PDF through too. But they're retailing it, but it's not for 305. It's like $589 or something like that. Everyone else except for the Amazon site that I found this on is higher. Like I said, though, would it be worth the 305? Absolutely. From what I've seen or what I've got so far, it would be worth the risk to do it again. And but that's how I bought that one. I'm sure some of them, if you buy them, they would have the instructions and all that. But where I bought it from, it came just like bare boxed or whatever they call that, open boxed or something like that. It worked. It was guaranteed to work, but it had no supporting nothing with it. In this goofy thing, I don't know. I could have lost it. I'm not saying I didn't. I'm just saying I don't know where it's at. And I keep everything for a little bit. I try to keep everything up, is what I'm trying to get at. Have no idea where that one's manual went, and it's not user friendly. And I'm not knocking on it. It worked really good. It worked extremely well gathering power from the sun. This one seems to be doing really well as well. It must be the new programming or whatever. This one works good, but it's more like a workhorse. It's not as efficient as these by far. But they're also much older. That's probably, I bought it just before I bought all the solar. No, I bought it the same time as the solar. So I turned the solar on December 4th, 2019. I couldn't tell you what day I got divorced. I know I was married 23 years. That I know. But what day I got divorced, what month, what year, no clue. I can tell you the day that I turned that on and turned the generator off. I've never turned the generator back on here. Even where I needed bigger tools, I would either buy a smaller tool that would run off of this other stuff, or I waited. And now I can run over a horsepower or two and do just fine. Is what I'm loving this. This is a good day. Next year, much better is what I'm trying to get at. Like I said, it'll be 2 more of these batteries and a different inverter is what this one don't like pair up or nothing like that. And I was wanting the 220 so I can run a well, a proper submersible well. And that's the next thing, is to get that far. Okay, guys, talk to you then. And a big bump up for me with that heating element, and then with the second load off of this thing built into it, that's just tremendous. That's like a double win in one day. Because I wasn't even sure that it was going to be able to run the heating element. Some can't. There's a lot of things. A lot of these inverters, they just stumble. They have a point where they can't do stuff. And some of them, when it comes to the heating element, it ramps. It'll start out fine, but then it keeps ramping up the wattage until, I guess, either the element blows out or this thing, overloads or whatever. But it just ramps up it messes them up. This one was holding fine. It was, I don't think it went up even a little bit, is what I'm trying to get at. I think it went down is what I'm trying to get at instead of up. But let's look at it one more time. Okay, there's the initial. Yeah, well, I take that back. See, that's the problem with some of them. How it's creeping up is what I'm trying to get at. Oh, there it went back down. I run it earlier, is what I'm saying, before this video, and it didn't seem to do that, is what I'm trying to get at. It seems stable. Yeah, it does. Okay. It don't seem to be heard. It's making steam in my coffee this time. I better not drink it, though. Yeah, that's stable. Okay, I had myself worried. I was worrying myself too much. I was worried. Don't you hate it when you freak yourself out? Okay, y'all. Yeah, it was doing good. But like I said, I really don't want to mess it up. And it would be fine if it was water, but it's not. It's my tea, because I didn't have nothing else. I couldn't think of nothing else to use, and it would seem perfect. Oh yeah, steaming now. Okay. Let's put that over there so we don't burn our mouth. Okay, like I said, I'm going to let it go. And I was tickled that it could do it without ramping up, because the other leg turns on and off just like a on-demand thing, but for the power instead of the heat. Instead of like the on-demand comes on and off as it needs it for the floor, this goes on and off as it can do it for the power. You can run them together. It's a good win. Win-win. Technology is wonderful. Read the instructions. It's really great. Okay, talk to you later. All right, bye.